I thought he was Scottish. No, this was a almost like a piece of paper that fell off of one of the shelves and landed at your feet. The book seems to just be like a devotational like memoir almost for knights from a place called the Holy Empire of Valentia. So what are all the this is a painting what? Well, sorry, Josh, did you want to go mend the painting? Yeah, it's probably like it's like say like 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet wide, and probably like 4 or 5 feet tall. The slash across it, I think mending can actually would be able to fix it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As you hold up the like the bottom piece of the painting and begin mending the tear in it, you're able to fully and completely seal the two pieces back together, leaving the entire mural fully intact. As you take a step back and look to admire your work, you see that the beacon in the picture begins to glow slightly before flashing with a brilliant silver light. Inside the room, you see that the spectral form of a huge silver dragon fills the room. It looks to you all, it begins to speak. My skull lies in the fortress of my enemy, displayed in a place of ill omen. Return my skull to its rightful crypt, and my spirit will shine here forever, bringing hope to this dark, decrepit land. With that, you see that the dragon's apparition begins to shudder and fade away before falling and turning into a combination of like ice crystals and cold air that seems to blow out the door, disappearing. He said, "The skull is in the fortress of my enemy, displayed in a place of ill omen." You can, yeah, you can all try and make a history check and see if you remember seeing it. Rogar was definitely there. Rogar was definitely in the crypt. Thinking back, Stephanos, you do not remember seeing any sort of bones or dragon bones or skull anywhere in this that castle. If at least not where you at at least not where you explored. You know that you didn't go through the majority of that castle. Yeah. As you take a peek into this room, the iron door hanging out front, hanging by a singular hinge, you see that the rooms here are lined with lead. The bottom, like the floors, the walls, and the roof. You can see that empty chests and shattered vases lie strewn upon the floor, their contents entirely plundered. Everything is gone. Like there's nothing here other than empty chests and shattered vases. Yeah, sure. You can try and examine. There's probably, I think, four chests in there. You can examine each of them if you'd like. It seems that this, yeah. Uh, James, make me a You both can make me perception checks in there. Yeah. You both go through like Blake. Take about like 10 minutes scanning and like checking every individual piece of the floor underneath much of the debris. As Rogar or as Stefanos goes and checks all the chests. Neither of you find anything of note. This place seems to be plundered long ago. Yeah, what are you looking for? They're bare, like the shelves are empty. No, like yeah, like the shelves are empty. They're bare. All right, who be opening doors on a whim here? Have to. Oh, just let me know. Just let me know. Because we've James loves opening. People love opening doors, and there's just shit behind them, and they go, "Oh." Stefanos, as you look into this room, you see that there's rich drapes faded by time and neglect hide all of the windows in this otherwise empty room. Yeah, as you move all the drapes, the room begins to light up a little bit more with the little light that is still outside. Looking around, though, it seems to just be a large, like, open, empty space. You can infer what would you would like. The drapes themselves are like a crimson red, like faded with age. Many of them with holes and like dry rot kind of going through them as they almost crumble in your hands as you touch them. No discernible like signs or sigils that you can find on them. Well, to your east is like a drape, basically. It's like a heavy, thick, like kind of almost blackout curtain. And below you is another wooden door, kind of worn with age. Well, as you open the drape and look inside, you see that it is actually a spiral staircase that seems to actually lead upwards. Yeah. As you peer inside, you see that this room has dark wood paneling on all the walls that rises to a height of around 3 feet. Above the paneling, you can see that the walls seem to be painted with murals of religious figures performing holy rites. In the center of the west wall, you can see a tattered curtain hanging in an open doorway. Three tall, slender stained glass windows set into the opposite wall seem to depict figures in white robes with orange sunrises behind their heads. The windows or the walls? So above the painting, like the paneling, the wooden paneling, there's paintings of murals of religious figures performing holy rites, and then in the stained glass windows, you can see there's figures in white robes with orange sunrises behind their heads. No, like the stained glass windows are just like kind of seem to be three people standing there. Make me a religion check to see what you can kind of discern from this entire room itself. Yeah, right on. As you study both the like the paintings on the walls and the people within the stained glass windows, you notice that these stained glass windows actually look down into the chapel down below where you once passed through earlier. You can see that they kind of overlook where many people you kind of put together would come for sermon or for like almost like church-like practices. Uh, From north to south, the street three stained glass windows you see portray Saint Andrew, the Morning Lord, and through your time in Barovia, you see that the last one seems to be some sort of woman, one you've come to learn as Saint Markovia. Uh, the religious rites and with the sun kind of iconography and things, you realize that this entire room seems to be uh, portraying religious practices towards the Morning Lord, the overarching religion within Barovia. So, like from north to south, the windows portray Saint Andrew, the Morning Lord in the center, and then Saint Markovia, who you have learned about as you're in Barovia. Like the same name, the same person that the abbey was dedicated to. Yeah, they're doing a variety of different things. Some people are doing prayers, some people are, giving offerings. Like they're doing a multitude of different religious activities. Right on. What do you pray? Mm. Right on. uh, Perfect. Um, you notice like the small sense you hear as like heavenly music, very ever so quietly, kind of rings in your ears within this room. But other than that, you don't notice a singular source of it. It just seems to be a holy place in general. You want to look at the land of Barovia? He's gone. It was just the order, like north to south. So like the top one is the most north one, then going south. No worries. Looking around, the room is otherwise empty. You can see that the tattered kind of drape. You can feel the wind coming from uh, the area of the mansion where the roof had collapsed, and you can hear the rain coming from the other side. Um, but looking around, like yeah, the room is otherwise empty. There's a door set in the south wall of this room as well. And the windows looking down over the chapel where many of the sermons and things would be held. You could see actually that directly through the windows is kind of like that upper area where there was the almost like throne or seat that looked above the chapel, and then past that it goes down deeper into the chapel. Like this is basically, you remember like the chair sitting right here. No, I guess you guys can't see that because you're not looking through the window directly, but Thorvac can see it. So that dotted line is like there's the upper balcony, and that dotted line is the edge of the balcony, and then it goes down below. The stairs, yes, there are not. The room is basically empty other than that. Why do you ask? Right on. You would have candles in your. have torches. You have torches, definitely, and tinder boxes. Yeah. As you raise your torch, you see that the stained glass, like covered in dust and like debris, it still shines faintly. You can see that the large orange sun behind each of the figures begins to glow dimly, almost like the light of the rising sun in the morning. Other than that, you see that it casts like a warm orange glow onto the chapel down below. Yeah, yeah. As you do, it just is there any like patterns? It doesn't leave any like noticeable patterns or things like that. It just kind of like leaves a warm orange, like morning light glow into the chapel down below. Yeah. I like the thought process. Yeah, fuck it, Pizzo. Taking inspiration for that. Yeah. Well, how would we like to continue? Mm. The picture that yeah, it's a like yeah, the beacon. It's like almost like the largest tower in the mansion. Uh, you know that like it is above. There's a large tower that rises out of like above where the chapel is. So like Argevostholt, if I draw it out for you, let me kind of draw it here. I'll show you how it's kind of. So you have a tower here, a tower here, a tower here, like four towers basically, but the two bottom ones are ruined. Like this whole part of the mansion is destroyed, this whole wing. And then you have like a central tower that rises right above here, which is right above the chapel. Does that make sense? Okay. James is at full HP. Alright, so what do you want to do? So you just roll as many as you have. You only get half your hit dice back every long rest. So you healed 19. No, you're 63. You can just hit like plus or minus and then just type in the number and it'll do the math for you. It's like, let's say you're at 61. If I type in, yeah, if I type in like minus 20, it just does it, right? I'll roll a couple hit dice for Emmy. Yeah, she's maxed out. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll 2 for her. 17. Yeah, she's almost at max. 50 out of 52. He's talking to somebody. Yeah, somebody's in it. No, he's not. He just left. I think I can make the numbers like bigger or smaller. What? No, you're good. I think Bezo's just rolling his hit dice. He's got somebody like standing over him as he's playing. It's lovely. I think it's his sister's fiance. You get by your money. How many hit dice is he rolling? 22, 31, 38. That's the whole point of a short rest, isn't it? Okay. Well, the hour goes by as you sit down and begin to relax. Some of you doing menial tasks. Is there anything specifically you all want to do? Like you can study any books you have. Like you, yeah, you can read through the one that you found here at Argevostholt. You guys also found a book in. I could have sworn you guys found like a tome in. Hmm. I put everything that you had on your sheet in here. No, I don't know. I do not know who has it. That you guys had a fucking. Where is it? I know for a fact you guys had a. What is it called? You had a tome of understanding. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, I just checked all your inventories. Now I wrote everything you guys had on your paper in your inventories. No, this is in the Amber Temple. I'm gonna put it in your inventory, James. I did check it. I should check it in Emmys. It's like a devotional text for knights from the Holy Empire of Val- Valentia. It is. I think it's an 18 or it's a 20. It is a 20. What? What? Which book? The Tome of Understanding? It's for wisdom. I think it's a. I think it's a 17. No, it's a 19. Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't think any of you wrote it down in your fucking inventories. All right. Well, she spends an hour studying it. Uh, that's all. Okay. Well, your short rest is uneventful. Um, the eerie quietness of the mansion just slowly kind of looms over you all as you continue your short rest, but otherwise, you're undisturbed. Hmm? Like your text is like a devotional text for knights. So it literally is just like we fight for the good of Valentia. We are like service to the people, like service to the king, like these are our tenants, like yada yada yada. Well, you can give me an intelligence check as you read it. Yeah, like your understanding. It's not a religious text. Yeah, you're just like this seems like a bunch of jibber jabber. You don't really get anything. Valentia, where the fuck is that? You've never heard of it, right? Anyways, yeah. So what would you all like to do? Bees, yeah, we're good. We're playing. We're good to go. I'm waiting on you all. Yeah, definitely if you'd like to. As you open up, yeah, as you open up this door, you see that behind it is another stairwell leading upwards. Okay, well, as you make your way down the hallway, you come to a crossroads. The one hall leading north towards areas you've been, and the other hallway leading south towards the destroyed wing of the mansion. You can see on the eastern end of that hallway a door hangs ajar, hanging like almost torn off of its hinges, whereas the western door seems sealed shut. Okay. Yeah, you can see that most of this chamber has collapsed. The wooden floor is strewn with rubble, and you can see that it falls away into a foggy abyss to the south. The roof overhead is jagged and broken. You can see just as you peer through the mist, another like destroyed floor below you, and then below that it's all fog. You can't see any deeper than that. Yeah. As you open up the door, you see roughly the same thing, a destroyed door. This one you garner a little bit more insight as you see a few broken bunks and things strewn about. It seems to be like a ruined bed chamber. Yeah, so the walls are relatively bare, and it seems to be just like a destroyed like bed chamber, like a sleeping area. The entire place is trashed, and anything that might have been of use or value has been worn away by the elements over the past 100 or so years. Everything is like rotten and wet with mildew. The sides of the like torn away part of the building you can see are rotting and almost crumbling away. Um, much of the room is in disarray. Yeah. As you open up the last door, you see another stairwell heading downwards this time, much like the one that you came from in the northern side. I don't think anybody's here. I won't lie. Alright, well, what's the marching order as we head up these stairs? Alright. The stairs are about like 5 feet wide, so you can go one at a like single file upwards. So Thorvak, as you head upwards this stairwell, you come to what looks to be the top of a battlement. A stone battlement encloses the roof of this turret, and you can see that the spiral staircase ends here at a platform. You can see, oh, that guy's not there right now. You're a lucky guy. That guy's not there. uh, no, he's not there. the The room is empty. There's like a platform with like arrow slits, and you can see what looks to be the top floor. Oh wait, am I putting you up to the wrong one? I am putting you up to the wrong one. You're in the wrong stairwell. I'm sorry. You're over here. Uh, Let me see if I gotta pull everybody over here. My computer's lagging up a fucking storm. Uh, Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Okie dokie. There we go. We're all here. You can see that a round top wooden door uh, is at the top landing of this stairwell. There's a small stone landing, and looking up behind you, you can see like small slits in the stonework that you can slightly peer out and see the foggy mist over like the valley below. Okay. As you open the door and look in, you see that you are now on the top final, like the roof of Argevostholt. A massive hole leads deep into the mansion, and much of the top roofs and things are destroyed, and rubble is strewn about. Right on. As you step out onto the rooftop, you finally feel the cold wind and the patter of the light drizzle hitting your back. The wind howls like aggressively on the top of this roof as you are no longer in the cover of the mansion. Looking around, there's a multitude of debris and destroyed building parts strewn across the entire ground. Yeah, there's you can see through the rain a door over there, but you're 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 65, 70. You're 80 feet away almost from there. Remember, each square is 10 feet. Oh, so now wait, give me a second. We're at a different. I gotta adjust the map again now. You're not that big anymore. Scale is down, going to back down to 5 feet. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Advanced transform. It's more like this now. No, your aura is still 10 feet. The. Oh my god, Josh, why are you massive? Um, I'm just trying. Well, we're now at the 5 foot square sizing. So everybody's like this now. Perfect. Okie dokie. Oh, Cora. Oh my gosh. Do, 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 do. But what would you like to do on the roof here? Yeah, give me a perception check with disadvantage in the rain here. James, as you approach this landing or this door, you can see that the. You're okay. You can see that. Oh, he is really delayed. Anyways, Rogar, you see, like discerning, you can see a large tower stands on the eastern end of this, but it is shrouded in the dark mist and rain. It's hard to get a good look at it. Uh, Stephanos, as you step towards the door, you see that the parapet narrows to a width of 10 feet, ending before a sturdy wooden door set into the wall of the east tower. As you begin looking at it, you um, don't hear or see anything, but feel the impact of an arrow jams itself into your right side. As you look down, it is like a glowing white spectral arrow. You're going to take uh, 9 force damage as you look over and see a phantom like bowmen standing inside both of these tower parapets on either side with bows drawn. I need you all to roll initiative as they begin to launch their arrows at you. The second one whizzes past your head, flying by, just barely missing you. So you all are going to be surprised by these as they, um, like the two arrows come out of basically nowhere. We'll roll initiative for Cora as well. All right. Who wants to control her, by the way? You'll control her? Why are you saying wow? Oh. Give me one second. Just open her thing up. Edit. Can be. All right. Perfect. So as you are all surprised, it is gonna flip over to the Phantom Warriors' turns as they're both going to draw their bows and make two more attacks on you. Both whiz past your head as you're kind of like blocked a little bit by the parapets around you in the stone cover, and they lower their bows once again. It is now Thorvek's turn as you are no longer surprised. Right on. As you run up to the door and try the handle to open it, you see that the like sturdy looking wooden door with like metal frames and metal bars crossing it is locked shut. Okay. As you swing down at the door, your sword just chinks off one of the metal pieces and doesn't seem to do any damage. You can make it another attack. You can make another attack as well. All right. This time, as you swing your sword down, you're able to like chip off a piece of it. You can roll damage. So that's 14 damage total. Okay. You're able to take a chunk out of the door, and you think if you keep at this pace, you might be able to get through it within a few turns. Stefanos, it's your go. Okay. Maybe an attack roll. Yeah, your sword just like chinks off of the metal frame of this door. Yeah, once again, you're just not able to deal any damage to it. No, you don't get a third. You don't get a third attack. Are you action surging? No, sorry. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Okay. It's Cora's turn. Yeah. How does she? My question is how she has all of her spells still. James, I know you used multiple shields during the fight with Vladimir. So I know that. That's fair, yeah. I know she casted Heat Metal at level 3 once, but that might have been everything she casted the entire time. Frostbite. All right, make an attack roll. It is he. They are behind 3/4 cover, by the way. So roll an attack roll. No, you got to roll it yourself. And you add 4 to whatever she rolls. So 13 plus 7. How does she have a plus 7? Yes, that's 4. You don't get proficiency on your spells. Oh, do you? Okay, 17. Right on. Either way, it doesn't hit. But you see as the ice, I guess the AoE part would still hit. So, mhm, does a 15 pass. Perfect. So it's going to take 3 cold damage. Perfect. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Sweet. Okay, Rogar, it is your go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can't end your turn in James's space. And No. Sorry. Okay. The longbowmen are going to make another two uh, longbow shots. These both are going to be aimed as well at Stephanos. The first one is going to be a 20. Is a 20 hit? 20. Okay, so you feel as another like icy cold arrow jams into your side as you're swinging. You're gonna take 4 points of force damage, and the other one is gonna go whizzing past your head again. Uh, Valerius Glenn, it's your go. Okay, you're casting at level 2. Alright, so 10, 12 points of damage on the bottom one. Okay. What music is this? Yep. You're gonna see as like three motes of force, red force energy come flying and weed their way directly through the arrow slits, slamming into the spectral warrior. Uh, Officer Thorbeck, it's your go. You can make an unarmed attack if you'd like, or a strength. You could try and like use a strength check to break it down, but it's quite a sturdy looking door. Okay. I also just read I lied. These guys are supposed to get 2 attacks a turn. I'm sorry. With a 16, you feel the door like just you put all your weight into it and it hits you just as hard back. That's an action. Your first hit to it did damage to the door. That's for sure. All right. Is that everything you want to do? Stefano Stonecrest, your go. Your sword clinks off of the metal frame of this door. Okay, Cora. There's nothing on her sheet about wild shapes, but she's level 8, so I think she can go up to CR2 or something. What level 8? Uh, okay. Constitution save. Perfect. Does a 20? Yeah, pass. Yeah. Uh, yeah. You see as this thing doesn't even move, and you watch as these mites like burrow into the ethereal almost body of this. It doesn't even seem to be affected either way. Yeah. As you like try to stab at the door, you watch as your blade bends a little bit. You steel yourself once more and kind of slam it with the hilt of the sword. This time, actually chipping off a bit. You can roll damage there. Okay, and that's magical, right? Yeah. No. You see, as like you guys are starting to chip through like a bit of the wooden section of the door right now. Anything else you want to do? Yeah. Uh, you're gonna see as the Phantom Warriors are gonna draw their bow, letting loose 4 shots, as we're supposed to be doing the entire time. Dumb me. All are gonna be actually flying towards Thorvek this time. The first one is going to crit. That's gonna be 6 force damage. Second one, a 3 does not hit. Third one, a 4 does not hit. And fourth one, a 13. All right, so you're going to take 6 force damage as one of the arrows plunges into your body. Valerius, it's your go. Okie dokie. For 9 points of damage. Okie dokie. You see as the bolts of motes of force energy easily weave their way through the tiny holes through the tower and land true to their mark. Thorvek, what would you like to do? Unable to make solid contact with this door. All right, Stefanos, what would you like to do? If only you guys had a way to unlock a door, eh? Both your attacks chink off the metal framing of this door. Cora? All right, roll an attack roll. A 19 lands true, yeah. Perfect. You see as the bolt lands true and explodes in an icy puff, as the shards of ice and snow kind of dissipate, you see that the Phantom Warrior remains unscathed. Uh, yeah, Rogar, your go. No. Well, what's the con save for? Sorry. Damage? Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't take the damage, so I would say it's unaffected. Okay, that does not hit. Jesus Christ. Both of your attacks as you push by Stefanos, going, "Oh, let me do it." You slam your sword into it twice, just like chipping bits of like just small, tiny slivers of wood off the door. This time, the Phantom Warriors are going to turn their sights on the one slinging spells in the back, seeing as their arrows having little effect on the ones in the front. 2, 3. Does a 15 hit Cora? All right, that is going to be that is going to be 2 force damage on the first attack. The second one's a nat 20, and it's going to be 11 force damage. The third one doesn't hit because it's a 12, and then a 15 hits, correct? Yeah. So 7, 14, 18, 20 force damage as you watch as 3 arrows plunge into Cora's chest and like shatter with an icy pop. All right, make an attack roll. 20, and they have... Your firebolt just barely slams into the side kind of part of the arrow slit and dissipates just before reaching the Phantom Warrior. Thorvek? There we go. Roll damage. So it's going to be 9, 16, and then the fire damage doesn't do anything, but the 4 does. So 20 points of damage. You take a good chunk out of this door this time, finally kind of starting to cut through. You see a little bit of like a hole starting to make way as the door begins to sag a little bit inward. Probably like there's like the door is being chipped and like you're breaking pieces of it away. I'd say it's probably about half health. No. Like maybe the hole that's there, it's like probably that big. Make me an intimidation check. Stefanos, what would you like to do? Jeez. Sorry. What's happening here? Into a spider? Yeah, okay. She successfully can make her way through. Oh, why isn't it? Can you see from her point of view or no? Oh, you can see? Okay, perfect. So inside you see a rickety wooden landing and a staircase cling to the walls of this tower. The stairs lead up to another landing about 20 feet above, and the floor of the chapel lies 60 feet below. As you turn around, you see that the door is barred from the inside with a giant metal latch that is locked down. With what? It's like a padlock, like it's locked shut. Like it's a metal bar and then like a lock holding it down. She still has her action. It's her bonus action as to wild shape as a moon druid. Yeah. Does she have no tools? Then yeah, it'd either be a spell or brute force. She has the Mace of Terror. I'd probably say is her best bet. Uh, it chinks like spraying sparks up. But the padlock is relatively small. You think she thinks that she might be able to break it if with a good hit. Hey, Rogar, it's your go. Don't. Yeah, your two swipes do little to break down the metal barred door standing in front of you. Anything else you'd like to do? Okay. Valerius, you're gonna watch as a spectral longbowman turns his gaze towards you and let loose an icy arrow. That is gonna land true directly in your chest and deal 11 force damage. Well, it's a nat 20, so he's gonna then pull. It's gonna be 11 force damage on the first one, and then he's gonna notch another arrow, pull back and shoot at you. Does a 21 hit? That's gonna be another one force damage. Uh, so that's a total of 15 so far. You're gonna then catch a glint of another arrow flying through the air from the south. Uh, another does a 21 hit? It's gonna be two more force damage, and he's gonna notch a second arrow, letting it loose towards you. Does a 14 hit? All right. You're going to take one more force damage as that last one, as you're able to just duck out of the way and it flies by, disappearing into the night behind you. What would you like to do? Yep. That is a touch spell, no? Oh, right on. Uh, yeah. As you try and cast dispel magic, you see that the spell really takes no effect on it, as it's not necessarily a spell. Keep making this thing alive. Make me an Arcana check. This door is way sturdier than it needs to be. Yeah, Valerius, as you cast Dispel Magic and see that it does not become affected, you kind of have a eureka moment in your head and realize that any undead creatures, phantoms, ghosts, wraiths, and things aren't necessarily brought to this plane, back to this plane of existence by arcane magic, and more of a different sort of magic that your arcane spells can't quite affect. All right. Anything else you want to do? Okay, Thorvek, it's your go. Your great sword just chinks off the metal armor of this door once again. Uh, yeah. You're gonna see though, as your rage is gonna subside, as you haven't done or dealt damage in the past round. You see as Thorvek shrinks back down, and I think your sword unignites as well, correct? Stephanos, your go. Cast what? You can cast heat metal. It won't destroy it, but it might make it more malleable. Yep. Okay, yeah, you begin to heat the metal of the lock as it glows red hot. Uh, that's all that really happens on your turn for now. Rogar wanted to make 2 attacks. I can roll them for him. It's no big deal. Crusader, let's just roll with advantage to see both of them. Hey! Uh, Rogar comes down and deals a solid 7 piercing damage to the door, plunging it in and kind of tearing away a bit of the wood. The door's looking weaker now. It's still a little too sturdy to break through, but it's starting to come apart. Uh, the Phantom Warriors are then going to draw their bows. The first one is going to be directed at you, Thorvek. Does a 20 hit? It's going to be 2 force damage on the first. Sorry, I don't know your AC here. Okay. And the second one misses. So it's going to be 2 force damage on the first one, the first 2 attacks, and then the second 2 attacks are going to be a 17 and a 14. So only 1 hit. So it's going to be another 7 force damage. Yeah. So 9 force damage total. You did hit the door. Damn, 23 damage. You watch as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like motes of force energy slam into the door. Boom, 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 boom. As like bits of wood start chipping and flying out. This thing is hanging on with its last. I wouldn't call it breaths, but it is still standing, blocking your way defiantly. I'll tell you right now, it has 6 health left. Thorvek? It's technically still as sturdy as it once was at the start. Nice. You're not raging anymore, but or yeah, but it's gonna just that's still more than enough. You finally take your the greatsword that you newly acquired and slam it down into the hinges of the door. As you see, they shatter open and the door falls forward towards you, leaving just a metal bar standing in your way. Yeah, right on. You are able to step inside and meet Cora on the landing. Let's put you a little deeper in here. Okay, Stefanos, what would you like to do? Yep. No. Both of the pieces of wood just slam against the outside stone wall. Like Cora, does she want to move or anything? Hey, Rogar, shooting something through the arrow slits. You could run across the rooftop and try and fucking crawl your way through. No. No. All right. With Valerius standing alone on the parapet, arrows rain down towards him. We have a 17 for the first one. Okay, and then miss. Yep, miss, and then a nat 20, so that's gonna be 11 force damage, and then another miss. So you pop up a shield as it blocks three of them, but one of them just barely skirts by the edge of it and slams you in your stomach before shattering into like an icy blast. You're going to take 11 force damage, and that's going to be their turn. Okie dokie. You all. No, the door is destroyed. Perfect. As you all enter in, you see that a rickety wooden landing and a staircase cling to the wall of this tower. The stairs lead up to another landing about 20 feet above, and you can see as you stare down below, like 40 feet, or sorry, 60 feet, you can see the floor of the chapel below you. You can hear as the landing and the stairs creak and shudder underfoot as you walk across them. If you're within 10 feet of him. Not. No. They weren't really shooting you guys, though. They were mainly shooting Cora and Valerius, who were not within the 10 feet. God forbid, you missed out on 6 attacks on the first 3 rounds anyway, so give and take here. Okay. As you. So, what would you all like to do? Are you heading up the stairs? Okay, perfect. Uh, as you all head up the stairs, are you heading? You're heading farther. I'm guessing up to than that. We'll see if I can fit all of you up here. And get Cora over here. Perfect. You see that the creaky stairs climb to a wooden landing with 3 windows that look out over the roof of the mansion. Flanking the windows are 2 sets of wooden doors. So the first one is the one to the north of you. As you open the door, you see the spectral longbowman with his bow still in hand. Uh, I need you to roll initiative. I can do it. Here. No, I'll give it to James. Sure. All right, Thorvek, what would you like to do first? You'd have to beat him in a strength check, and then you would have to drag him over, and then next round throw him off. Okay. Okay, he's going to try and resist you. It's going to be, sorry, an athletics check, not a strength check. We'll just add your proficiency, so add 3 to that. 15. Yeah, you 17. Yeah. Oh, you get advantage. Yeah, so roll again. That is not better. As you try and grab, your hands actually like pass through the form of this spectral warrior. You're not able to grab it. Valerius, your go. From where you're standing, you'd have to probably come to like here to get a good view in that door. So yeah, there we go. Roll an attack roll. You try and throw a firebolt, but Thorvek's hulking body in front of you like is just in the way as he's swiping and trying to grab you. You try and like lean over and shoot around him, but you just can't get it to make contact. Okay, Stephanos. Yeah, make me a maybe a religion check, I guess, or a nature check. Yeah, yeah, nature check maybe. Uh, you reckon you don't? Yeah, you don't know specifically what kind of creature this is, but you can tell that it's some sort of like phantom or undead. It's not entirely on this plane of existence. It's much like the creatures that you fought when that were surrounding Vladamir Horringaurd. You know that your weapons can touch it. At least they were able to touch the ones against Vladimir Horngard. It's just, it's on the same plane of existence as you right now. You can see it right now. It seems to be here. It's ethereal almost. Yeah, roll an attack roll. 17 hits. Yeah. Is it just a regular greatsword? Okie dokie. You slash and you see as your sword like it tears a bit at the ethereal form of this creature before entirely the resistance just disappears and your sword glides through. You seem to have done a little bit of damage, but your strike didn't land as true as it should have. That hits. Okie dokie. Yeah, is that your turn? Okie dokie, perfect. Rogar, it is your go. Yeah, 20, and then you can move back out. Yeah. That does not hit. Neither of those hit. You try and stab at the ethereal form of this creature, but it seems to just take no damage whatsoever. Uh, it is now Cora's turn. From where she is, she can't see the creature. Like, even then, like the door, she can't make it all the way over there. That's too far. And move over to there. Okay. And how much does Cora weigh? She weighs more than 50 pounds. Uh, as Cora steps onto that section of the floor, you hear a large groan as the section collapses underneath her. I need her to make a dexterity saving throw. You watch as but you watch as the floor collapses underneath. Okay. You watch as the floor beneath her buckles and collapses under her weight, and she plummets 20 feet downwards to the floor below, landing square on her back and prone. She is going to take. She's going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage and land prone on her back. So we'll say, what's the prone symbol? Okie dokie. It is now the Phantom Warrior's turn. The one in front of all of you, you're going to see as his form begins to shimmer, and he actually just passes directly through you all, making his way across the still like still there parts of the floor over to the other side of the landing. You're gonna see as the door, you're gonna go and slam the other door on the other landing as it opens up, and you see the other Phantom Warrior step out and begin to draw his longbow. Valerius, the first shot is gonna come at you, and you're within 10 feet of Rogar. So does a 15 hit? Shield? Okay, so the first one chinks off of a shield as it's going to take another shot at you. And a 4 misses as it blasts off the shield as well, shattering in a cone of ice. It is now Cora's turn. And, sorry, I just want to say that this section of the floor here is now gone. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's two of Cora for some reason. Thorvek, your go. As you reach this part of the floor, you feel as it buckles underneath your feet, and I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. All right, 19. Perfect. So as the floor buckles beneath your feet, you fall downwards to the landing below you. However, you land squarely on your feet and only take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And these two sections. Yeah, so 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. Valerius Glenn, it's your go. Okie dokie. Perfect. That lands true. Right on. You see as a chunk of this like icy spectral form gets blasted away by the firebolt, doing considerable damage. Okay, Stephanus, your go. Yeah, yeah. You need at least 10 feet of a running head start to be able to do a running long jump. So from here to here, so you need to go to here, and then you're gonna run. That's over 30 feet of distance. Yeah, then you can, yeah. Okay. Rogar, here we go. You could do the same thing as James there. Go to here. So you have to run all the way back to here. What's your strength score? Okay, yeah, I think you're able to. One sec. Jump. Five. It is equal to their strength. Yeah, so you can jump 18 feet. Yeah, definitely. So you are able to jump and land right here, but you have to dash in order to do that. Yeah, you can't now. Okay, Cora's turn. Okay. Do you want to use her half her movement to stand up? Okay. That's her turn. Okay, it is the Phantom. She can move basically 15 feet. So I'd put it like here. Okie dokie. Uh, you're gonna see as the one Phantom Warrior that let loose with its bow is going to actually pull out a like it's gonna drop its bow, which like disappears into an icy mist, and it's gonna pull out of like an basically a sheath that like appears on its hip, pull out a long sword that it grips with both hands, and it's gonna take two swipes at you, Stephanos. Uh, 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 mm, 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 mm. So the first one's a 20, because that's going to be 6 force damage, and he slashes down to you, and it seems to hit with an unearthly weight. The second one's going to be a 16 as you step backwards, and it just barely misses you. Uh, you're going to see as the other Phantom Warrior is going to move one step upstairs and rematerialize. Or it can move 30 feet, right? Yeah. It's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's all the way here, but it's up one layer above you, Josh. And it's going to rematerialize here. Thorvek, here you go. Okay. You make it up to there. So that so you're going to be basically right here. Oh, sorry, I was just moving you. Here. You're going to be right here. He's above. He's on the floor above. You can see the one that's like pinned by Rogar and Stephanos. Yeah, you can actually. Yeah, 24 does hit. Perfect. You see as a long sword comes flying, blade over hilt, and just shears this Phantom Warrior in half as it explodes and falls into a like a mass of shards and ice before blowing away in a spectral wind. It is dead. Perfect. All right, Valerius Glenn, your go. No, he's now above you. He's like kind of rounded the stairs and gone above you. All right on. No, no, the other one just got killed. You can't. So the other guy rounded the stairs and kept going upwards. He's above you now. Timer, timer. Let's go. Okay, sounds good. There we go. Okay, Stefanos, here you go. 10, 15, 20, 20. Yep, you can make it all the way to him. Yep, make an attack roll. That hits, yeah. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Again, your sword grips for a little bit before basically losing all resistance and swiping through. But you do a little bit of damage. Rogar? You can't see him. Why can't you see him? It's right here. Yeah, you can run in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can make it all the way up to here. Yeah. Okay, 14 piercing damage. You stab deep and actually like feeling the resistance of its spectral form on your sword as you tear a chunk away out of its body. He's looking pretty beat up. That does not hit though. Okie dokie. Cora's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Hey, she makes it all the way up to where Thorvek is. Hey, it's the Phantom's Warrior turn. It is going to make two spectral longsword swipes at you, Stefanos. Both of them just chinking off your armor, doing no damage. It is then actually going to pass directly through you as you feel its icy body like go directly through you, and it's going to end its turn inside your body. Uh, you both are going to take 1d10 force damage. Let me just roll the damage. Sorry. Alright, you both are going to take 1 force damage as it is then shoved out of your. Sorry, I need to move you so I can actually move it. It is then shoved out of your body. Okay. Perfect. It is now Thorvek Velor's turn. So as you go up the stairs, can you see a little bit better there? Okay, so you can make it here 5, 10, and then your movement speed is 40 feet, right? Alright, so you can make it to there. You can make it all the way up to here. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. No, it ends its turn inside of Jin, then they basically push each other out of each other because he can't be inside of them. does not hit. No, that hits. You see again as Thorvek runs up the stairwell, like screaming as he goes, and he throws his great sword hilt over blade as it just shears this phantom warrior in half. Once again, he dissipates into a like icy mist before slowly disappearing into nothing. You're left now once again in the quiet, creaky upper landing of this tower. The silence of the tower once again uh, kind of encroaching on all of you. Yeah, progress to the top, I'd say, and then call it. It won't be long. My only question, Valerius and Cora, what is your plans to cross this gap in the flooring? So, Cora, they are exploring. Yeah. So, Cora, let me describe. You are on a rickety wooden landing, and like climbing up a staircase that clings to the walls of this tower. You see that creaky stairs climb to a wooden landing with three windows that overlook the roof of the mansion. Flanking the windows are two narrow doors. In between you and the south door, the floor has actually fallen out. Both you and Thorvek, as you stepped onto this section of floor, fell through and fell down to the landing below. So you and Valerius, that's a good question. What is your strength score, Josh? Well, what is it, like an 8 or a 9? It's an 8? You can jump 8 feet with a running long jump. So as you step back, you can run and you will land right about here. As you land on this section of the floor, you feel it buckle and give way as I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as the floor collapses below you. Yeah, but they're all over 50 pounds. Like your jumping distance is gonna reduce drastically. Josh or Valerius, you are going to fall 20 feet down to the landing below, landing square on your back, and you're going to take uh 6 points of bludgeoning damage. I mean, how do you think you want to try and cross this gap? If you even want to try at all, you can let. Yeah, it's D&D. Any options? It's a gap in the floor. You don't have to go upstairs. Yeah, you were the first one actually to walk across this part of the floor. No, they weren't using you to check for traps. Yeah. Yeah, somebody was in this upper tower here. This it's so they tried to walk you across the floor to get us far away, and the floor was trapped. Yeah. Yeah, everybody else is already on their way upstairs. Valerius and you are the only two who haven't crossed, basically. What's your strength score? Because if you have a 10 or higher, you can just jump it. Yeah. You do have the long jump spell, maybe? You have 10 strength? Then yeah, you can running long jump right over this thing. Hey, Valerius, what are your thoughts here? Okay, so you're gonna let them continue upwards without you? Oh, perfect. Okay. As Valerius, you're in the upper tower of Argevostholt. Mm-mm. Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay. Wooden stairs climb to the tower's peak, which has a stone floor and a 30-foot high pitched roof. Ravens roost on crisscrossing rafters, coming and going through small holes in the roof, and 10-foot high, 5-foot wide arched windows are evenly spaced around the walls. Each window consists of lead latticework fitted with small panes of transparent glass. You see as the ravens look down from the rafters, staring at you with great interest. To the north lies the. Oh, give me a second here. Let me just. There's all those ravens for you. To the north and east lies a mist shrouded valley with dark woods, a small town, and a lonely remnants of a burnt down windmill on the precipice. To the south, a river flows through a foggy marsh, and to the west, between rocky hills, you glimpse an abbey perched on snowy mountainside beyond a long stretch of fog-smothered pines. You recognize the small town as Vallaki, the burnt-down windmill as the remains of the old bone grinder, and the abbey is St. Markovia's Abbey down in Kresk. The room is otherwise empty. He's the only one who didn't. He said anything. None of them wanted to do it. Oh, You probably didn't have it. You probably didn't have it prepared at that point then when I put your thing on. Right on. It's no worries. Emmy, as you yeah, you can use it. No worries. What would you like to say? The keepers of the feather. They look down at you and like kind of cock their heads. Make me a persuasion check. The ravens look at you and goes, "Keepers of the feather, we are not. No of them we do." As you're communicating with this raven, you notice a sharp noise that catches your attention, Cora. The clopping of horse hooves and the crunch of wagon wheels on gravel coming from the front of Argevostholt. As you peer out the window, you see a cart pulled by a draft horse and driven by a wild-looking Vistani stops in front of the mansion. The young man steps off of the cart, pulls down his pants, relieves himself on the statue of Argevostholt before pulling up his pants, going to the back of his wagon, and opening up the large back bay door. You see he begins to struggle with a large box as he begins sliding it out of the back of his wagon. Leaving it on the ground, you see a well-made coffin. He then gets back onto his horse, whips his stirrups, and rides off into the night, leaving the coffin sitting on the front door. Yeah. Anyways, that's where we're gonna leave off tonight. Yeah, we've been playing. Much of this session was them fucking fighting a door. It was great. Emmy, you have used a wild shape today, by the way, so just mark that down. I don't know if James marked it down for you. Oh. You can only wild shape twice, right, Emmy? I'm just gonna write it down. Yeah. Short or long rest. No. I'm just gonna not have it renew, and you can renew it on a short or long rest. Perfect.